Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of The Pursuit of Being a Stand-Up Leader. I'm Jared Wittman with Wittman Media, and I'm here with John Russell, owner of The Business Source, a hell of a marketer and business owner, and author of Be a Stand-Up Leader, the ABCs of Getting the Job Done Right. We've been breaking down John's book chapter by chapter, a lot of really good beneficial information for stand-up leaders, business owners, and those who want to be a business owner or run a great business for their employees. I think today's topic, standards of performance, is really great to understand and setting the expectations for their employees on the front end. I know this is something that I struggle with, and I've seen other business owners also struggle with that. So can you break us down or take us through how to implement standards of performance and what those might look like?
Thanks, Jared. And you're one of those guys that has standards, and you're always trying to maintain a high level of quality, and that's just your minimum expectation.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like everything around you. I mean, it's pretty cool. Standards of performance is one of my favorite coaching and professional development tools. And I've had a lot of success rolling out standards of performance for my clients' employees.
Okay.
And, sometimes when you're in a service industry where you've got a lot of employees that are out in the field, they're not there all the time. They're not there for you to look over their shoulder. You have to have enough trust in them.
Right.
So that when they go out to represent your company, represent your brand, that they're doing what you've determined is setting high standards of performance in terms of how you want people to perceive your company.
Right.
In its simplest format, it includes things like how you set up your day. It includes things like, what's the dress code for your business?
Yep.
In almost every instance, some sort of professional uniform with a name badge, if you're making service calls, is minimum standard of performance. Standards of performance could include office or company rules. This is really important. On when do you take your break? Everybody takes their break at 10:15 for 15 minutes. It sets rules on whether or not you can smoke at work, or whether you can smoke in your company vehicle,
Right.
or whether you can smoke when you're out at a customer's house. The answer to that is no.
Right.
You can go outside of the office at the end of the day and have a smoke, or you can have a smoke before you leave the office in the morning. But outside of that, that's not how we want to be perceived.
Right.
Social media usage.
Yeah. What to post, when to post, what not to post.
Are you allowed to post on things that happen at your company during the day or not?
No.
Probably not.
Yeah.
There's rules. It can be maybe or sometimes but no negativity, and no things like people don't want you talking about politics.
Right.
Because the world is split in two.
Right, yeah.
If you have one idea and your customer has the others, and they find out that you're not on their team, that's not going to sit well.
Yeah, especially if you're an employee, you represent that company, and
that's right.
That's like for everything you do. So like,
it's a big deal.
Don't wear your uniform out to the bar. Don't wear company logo and getting crap faced.
Don't go get drunk and get in an accident while you're representing my company.
Right.
Because that's going to be on the news at 6:00.
Don't take the company vehicle that's branded
to the bar
like a giant billboard and then get into an accident. That
I ran into one of my previous employers' kids who took over the business from their dad.
Yeah.
At a bar. They know who I am.
Yeah.
Because I was a big deal at the time. And they were embarrassed that they were at the bar. after work
Right.
in their company branded vehicles.
Oh, yeah.
They had to explain it to me. We don't normally come to the bar
Right,
after
yeah.
work,
Yeah.
but I love them like brothers. I'm like, you don't have to try to worry about me. You know,
Right.
it's like, but it's not a standard practice for them.
Right.
And they are the owners of the company.
Yeah. Which is I think is different. I mean, there's different tiers to a business.
Yeah. If the owner takes you out to the bar, you're going to the bar.
Yeah.
If they take you out to a restaurant, you're going to the restaurant.
Right.
So other standards of performance are politeness.
Mhm.
How do you conduct yourself in front of a customer when there's a conversation taking place? Please and thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. No swear words.
No swear words.
No F-bombs.
A big one was taking care of your van, your vehicle, your company vehicle in terms of service and maintenance. A lot of these guys would just drive the vehicle 365 days in a row and never check the oil.
Right.
And they wonder why the engine seized up.
Yeah.
It's like, well, didn't you read the employee manual, the standards of performance? You have to check the oil in your van once a week every time you get gas.
Yeah.
That's a rule.
I worked for a company or worked with a company that would have their techs wash their cars or wash their vans every night.
Right.
So that they were in good condition and looked good.
Yeah. Another standards of performance that we implemented was after you're out in the field all day, you're using material and inventory in your van to make the calls that you're making. You have to inventory what came out of your van that day.
Yep.
Make sure that it gets billed for correctly.
Yep.
And then you have to resupply your vehicle so that when you get out onto the next series of calls tomorrow, you don't have to wonder, where's my screwdriver?
Right.
You know, it's a big deal.
Yep.
Because callbacks in the home service industry,
Expensive.
verboten,
Yeah.
not cool.
Yeah.
If you're driving back and forth 40 miles because you forgot something silly,
Yep.
it's not going to sit well.
It's almost like preparing the night before, and that goes
Exactly.
for regular, business owners of any size
Plan
or any
for it.
type of company. Just plan your, look at your calendar the day before and kind of plan out
Right.
what you're going to.
It's pretty much common sense, but you'd be surprised.
Yep.
The bigger the company, the more people there are, the more important standards of performance become.
I agree.
Here's a couple more. Equipment replacements, warranties, how they're handled, service calls, shop protocol, safety, communication, teamwork. Vacation requires policy. Holidays, there's a policy there. You have to take every 1 out of 4 holidays because you're going to be on call. Everybody shares in that. So setting up and consistently using standards of performance minimizes and reduces the possibility of miscommunication and reducing confusion for employees. Plus, it just makes your company look better. And it goes back to my dad's old rule, which is explain the rules, make sure they're fair, make sure they apply to everyone. Don't let one person get away with favoritism.
Yeah.
Because the other people will look at it and go, well, why does
Right.
Johnny get to take his vehicle home and I don't?
Yeah. I've seen and experienced that.
Yeah, you don't want to get into that. So the problem is for stand-up leaders, if you do not have standards of performance in place, how do you know that expectations are being met as it comes to your field team when they're interacting with your clients? And it's really kind of like a written set of rules to help people operate all at the same high level. So my advice is really to set up standards of performance for all your employees, from everybody that answers the phone all the way through the people that clean your office and everybody in between, especially those that come into contact with your customers, and make it part of your business.
Yeah.
And it's not that hard.
Right.
But you have to take the time to enforce it. And ultimately, you're making these people better off.
Yeah, I think so too.
So standards of performance is a pretty important element for stand-up leaders. So I think that covers the topic. Jared, do you have anything to add?
No, I don't.
Cool. Well, thanks. I'm John Russell, owner of the Business Source. I'm here with Jared Wittman from Wittman Media. And thanks for checking out our podcast. We will see you next time.